speaking of AlanStock.com, here's the guy who helped develop that page for me, the CEO and founder of Ventura Web Design, a Las Vegas-based internet marketing company, Kevin Richards, in our Tech News with Kevin Richards segment. Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Alan. You were really fired up with those last callers. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with your excitement.
I like Condoleezza Rice, so if anybody doesn't like her, they can right here bite me. You know, if I'm telling you, I don't. I like her a lot. She's a great gal. But a lot of stuff going on in the tech news world. I guess one of them is that Facebook. You know, I just saw that in the last day or so they're going to start regulating posts related to gun sales. Excuse me?
They are. Facebook is getting into the world of controlling our posts now. They're implementing stricter rules, as they say it. Monica Bickert, she is Facebook's head of global policy management, said that they will not be allowing any posts that reference no background check required or any type of post related to gun sales that doesn't seem like it's following every single possible rule. And this was actually brought on by the New York State Attorney General giving Facebook some unsolicited free advice, from what I understand.
It'd be interesting to see how far they go on this. You know, if they start saying, you know what, semi-automatics and firearms with large magazines and stuff like. I'm just wondering how far they're going to go in this control. I'm watching and waiting.
Well, it is an interesting point, and as soon as they start getting into regulating speech and regulating content, they're creating a curated environment, and then suddenly I think that they kind of become responsible for the content that's there. Right now they get to say, oh, we're hands off, we're not the ones creating content, we're not responsible for who's saying what, but as soon as they start policing that, doesn't that create an obligation for them to police everything?
I would suspect that is the answer. That's my suspicions. Absolutely. All right, let's move on. I've got very little time. Got a lot of things to talk about here. I want to follow up on last week's story about that bar patron wearing Google Glass in San Francisco. What's the latest? Have you heard on that?
The latest is somebody posted a picture up to Instagram, and what the bar did is they actually sided with the patrons who kind of threw the Google Glass wearer out on her ear. They basically posted up a sign. It says, "Our patrons have expressed concern with being recorded while enjoying themselves at the Willows Bar. Kindly remove before entering." And has a picture of Google Glass with a big red circle and a slash through it.
All right. Well, I understand. I definitely understand that a private bar and, because people can, as you and I talked about, can be recording anything at all. And there's no little red button that goes on like, they do for like video recorders and stuff like that. And so you don't know if you're being recorded. And that's not cricket in my book.
It's all about privacy, and you got to decide if you want a society that you can always be on camera.
All right. Real quick, I know there's a study that came out about Americans and how tech savvy they were. Have you seen that study at all?
I have. It was a very interesting study. It actually related directly to us and our business. One of the points in that study, the headline was that 11% of those surveyed believe that HTML, of course, is the programming language that we use to build websites. 11% of those studies.
Howard, Tom, Martin, and Larry? Was that the deal?
Actually stands for hypertext markup language.
All right.
But 11% thought that it was actually a sexually transmitted disease. So obviously I've got some branding and marketing to do to fix that. If I tell people that part of my business is we work on HTML. Right.
Okay. I didn't know anybody thought that, but there you go. All right.
I guess 42% thought that a motherboard was the deck of a cruise ship.
The motherboard? A cruise?
The motherboard of a computer. Another one is MP3. You know what an MP3 is? It's the sound files for your computer.
Right.
23% thought that was a robot from Star Wars.
Oh, isn't it? I thought it was. All right, we'll come on back in a moment, continue our tech news with Kevin Richards. I know he's got a couple more things to chat about, and we got a little bit of an announcement coming up as well. Is that right?
We do. It's going to be fun. Let's talk about it.
All right, we'll do that in just a few moments right here at News Talk 720 KDWN. Tech News with Kevin Richards continues in a moment. Right now joining us is Kevin Richards, Tech News, as he does each and every Friday at 7:30. Great to have you with us, and I thank you for being with us this morning. Tell me about what the latest is with the Windows XP Because I know that that's going to eventually go away, and I'm not sure what people are going to do. Have to download a whole system, or what's going to happen?
Well, Windows XP has been around for nearly 13 years.
Wow.
It's a very stable platform, but obviously because being around that long, it gives it a lot of opportunity for hackers to find backdoors into it. And Microsoft has obviously released several new operating systems since XP. So what they're saying now is it's time for both their developers and hardware developers to go ahead and move on from XP to the latest and greatest, which certainly is Windows 8.1. And what they're saying is that they're going to stop supporting Windows XP shortly. And people who have XP are going to start seeing pop-ups and reminding them of that the updates are going to stop on April 8th of this year. But Microsoft will go ahead and keep their Security Essentials product updated through July of next year. So you still have a little bit of time, but if your system is so old that you can't upgrade to a new operating system, it is probably time to go ahead and get a new system.
All right. Well, that's good advice. We know it's been coming for some time. That's why I wanted to keep reminding folks about it. It's time. So you download a whole system into your computer, or what?
Basically you would purchase the new operating system from Microsoft. It works similar to Apple in the way that you can basically upgrade on top of your current hardware, but most likely if your hardware is operating XP, you're going to want to go ahead and get a new system because XP is, like I said, 13 years old. Most likely your system is out of date. You'll be surprised at how fast and great the world is with a new system.
Yeah, all the more reason to get yourself a Mac. iMac, folks. This is the thing to get, believe me.
All right. Leading you into it.
Yeah. All right, I want to let's make a little bit of an announcement here. Dating back to when I first came to town, I was at some other station doing afternoon drive, and we started something brand new, which other people have copied. TV station, others have copied since then. It was called the 5 o'clock flip. I was doing afternoon drive at the time, and so at 5 o'clock every day we had people call up with their flip off. Whatever it happened to be. And we gave them like about 5-6 minutes, and it went on and on. Very, very, very popular segment. And again, other TV and radio stations have tried to copy it since, but we were the originator of that concept. So you and I talked about it, and we've come up with something else. Tell me about it.
We have. Everybody who wants to visit alanstock.com, you can go there right now, and you can click on the top menu bar where it says Last Word. And you can leave a very pithy comment for Alan, and
pithy is the operative phrase. Yes.
Alan will be able to read that on the air. I think you said you're going to do it at the end of your show daily, right?
Right. I'm going to do it daily at the end of the show. It'll start sometime next week, and it will refer back to some topics that we've had. Again, I will come on for the last couple of minutes, and it will be literally the end of the show, so it'll be the last word that you're going to get about something that we were talking about that day or the day before, or the day before that, in the last couple of days. But we'll put them on. I know Bill O'Reilly does, the letters and stuff like that. I don't want to do letters. I want to read through a bunch of letters. That's why I like what you said. Keep it pithy, but go to the last word at alanstock.com, and all you have to do is punch in there exactly what it is. And for some select few, if you really want to say it on the air, include your phone number, and if it's worthy, we will get you on the air to be able to give it on the air. But it's going to be very short. When I say short, I mean like a sentence or so. I don't want a whole long, story that was written like, the rise and fall of the Third Reich or something like that. Can't handle something like that. So alanstock.com, and again, click on Last Word, and you'll be able to participate in the last word that I will be reading, 3 or 4 of these or so at the end of every show. Every show we're going to end that way when we start it. That'll be sometime next week. So, Kevin, thank you, and the folks at Ventura Web Design for setting it up. I appreciate that very much, and I appreciate you being with me this morning, and look forward to doing it again next week. You want to find out more about Ventura Web Design or contact Kevin Richards, go to alanstock.com. On the right-hand side of the page, you will see a logo that says Ventura Web Design. Isn't that clever? And you click onto that, you'll go to Ventura Web Design, and you'll also be able to contact Kevin Richards, and maybe he'll develop your website for you. That's a possibility. If you want to, it's a probability. Kevin, thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate it. We'll do it again next week.
Hey, thank you, Alan. Have a great weekend.
You too. Take good care. Kevin Richards, Ventura Web Design, joining us right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.